Hello, 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 everyone. I'm officially live, I believe. This is my first time doing it from my Zoom, so give me a second to make sure that I can turn on the chat in the actual YouTube. Give me a minute. Let's see how this works. If you are here with me, say hello so that I can know that this is going in. But if not, I'm going to get started either way. I welcome you to join me in the chat because I can see it on the side here. What I want to do now is open up my notes. Today I'm talking Wednesday wisdom, which is going to be a new live, maybe about 15 to 20-minute discussion around some form of business tip related to a coaching or therapy practice or wellness related services and coaching. So I want to get us started today with our niche and how important it is to define your niche when it comes to being a therapist or a coaching or a nutrition or a fitness, where it comes to being a actual wellness provider for individual services. You need to define your niche. And so that's what we're going to talk about. If you're here, say hello. All right, so I'm going to try to make sure I can manage this chat at the same time as going live. I'm going to say hello in the chat to anyone who is here. And then I'm going to get us started. So I have 10 tips for how to really define your niche as a wellness provider specifically. And so I want to start with the first thing is welcome to Freedom to Shine. I apologize for those who are already who are new to my channel. You can like and subscribe if you haven't already. But on this channel, I focus my work on helping Black women navigate daily race-based trauma to help them see and believe not just in themselves, but find their true power and gain success in the area that matters to them. And so again, I would love for you to make sure that you are subscribed to our channel, because on Mondays I release something related to wellness in that area, and or now I will be adding the Wednesday wisdom for our small business owners who are working with different forms of wellness providing. All right, so finding your niche. Let's see if I can get that done. Right. I apologize because I can't get it to go where I want. And I'm going to try to keep this open at the same time. All right. So tip number one, when it comes to finding your niche as a wellness provider, is really you need to do a self-assessment. When we think about a self-assessment, that really is just about defining what you know and where you are an expert and what you know how to do as an expert in that area. So for example, myself, I'm a therapist, but I specialize in racial trauma, where I actually work with clients around their identity and how it impacts their lives and how racism or racial trauma can impact their lives in the world. And some of those things include talking about systems, individual issues, and things like that. But what you want to do in this self-assessment is to define a little bit about the things you know about yourself. Ask yourself things like, what am I really good at? What qualifies me and what skills do I have? And consider your passions. Like for me, I'm very clear around my areas of passions. I don't have a problem with saying that I work primarily with clients that are Black and brown, and also some other BIPOC related clients. But I also work with other individuals, but those become my niche when it comes to who is my client. So ask yourself, what is your passions, your interest, and then what aspect of therapy, coaching, wellness providing that you're going to do in terms of fitness, what aspect of it will you show up for as that expert? And what part can you really show in your work that you're able to do with your eyes closed, in a sense. And so asking yourself those things can help you to really start doing that first self-assessment. So a self-assessment, just to summarize, should be about identifying your strengths, your skills, your qualifications, and the areas of expertise that you have. Your passion and your interests should consider what aspect of wellness you are most passionate about. So, what aspect of therapy or coaching are you most passionate about, and how well can you do that to perform successfully with your clients? And then, lastly, your unique value positioning. So, determine what unique perspective or approach you will bring to that area of expertise in terms of your personality, your methods, your approaches. So for example, being a EMDR specific trainer versus therapist versus a DBT and or CBT therapist, being able to know how you will position yourself in your niche is also going to be extremely important. The next thing you want to really do is do a market analysis or market research, depending on how you look at it. What this means is that you need to understand the market and its essential gaps or underserved areas in the area that you intend to impact. So analyze things around what other wellness providers are doing or offering in this area, the ways that you are different and or similar to them. Analyze things around pay, how much you'll cost and charge. Analyze all of those areas, and doing it in a marketing way allows for you to get specific needs and challenges out of the way up front so that you can know what clients need, how much they're willing to pay for it, and you'll understand how then you need to market yourself in a unique position so that they can see you as a valuable expert in those areas. So to summarize this one, when it comes to market research, you're going to identify the gaps, research the market to find gaps or underserved areas in your area of expertise. Analyze your competitors in a way that is not about competing, but learning and collaborating with. So study what other people are doing in your area or in your niche, and what things are they offering that people are actually interested in. And then how will you differentiate yourself from those already existing offers? And then lastly, when we think about our client needs, for this one, we really want to understand the specific needs and challenges that the different client groups that we're going to work with will have. And so analyzing your market allows you to be able to do all of these things. Our next tip is tip number 3. And maybe I'll make sure next time I'm to keep it 15 minutes, that I'll keep it down to 5 tips. And maybe I'll only do 5 today, and I'll break this up and do the other 5 tomorrow. So the next one is your target population. When we think about our niche, we really want to define the crucial identity of who our target population is. Who is our ideal client? What is their demographic and background? What is their age, their gender, their ethnicity, their location, and their income level? But don't stop there. Consider things like lifestyle, what they value, who they value. Maybe you want to know if they are an athlete, or if they're a pregnant woman or a corporate employee. What do you need to know about them? And the more specific you can be around what you identify as your target audience, it will help you in the long run to generate the voice of your client as you're talking to them in your market. And so to summarize this one, you want to think about your demographics, defining the demographics as much as possible, get specific as possible, but areas to consider: age, gender, ethnicity, location, income. And when I say location, like their geographical location, and then other things that will make that person easy for you to identify. And then consider the lifestyles and interests that your ideal client will have, because it will help you when you're building later on down the road around your marketing and your branding. And then lastly, be as specific as possible. The more specific that you can get, this helps you to focus the voice of your marketing to the individuals who will actually be impacted. Tip number 4 is going to be specialize. How do you specialize in a key area? Decide a specific service you want to offer, whether it's stress management, nutrition counseling. Just trying to think of some different types of wellness providers other than therapists. Mental health therapy would be an example, though, right? Maybe you want to address particular health concerns. So, for example, like anxiety, chronic pain, weight management. It's important to know what you're going to actually be specializing in. So that way, when you focus on your solution or your actual solving of the problem, you're able to have modalities that people can understand connect to resolving that issue. So for example, if I say pain management, I might say yoga, or I may say stretching, different types of meditation. So specializing helps you to become an expert in your specific area, because then people can see here's the problem that they have specifically, and here's the solution, and you become that for them. And so to summarize this tip, you really want to think about your service focus. Decide on specific services you want to offer: stress management, nutrition, nutrition counseling, and or mental health therapy are all examples of what you could offer. And then health concerns, specializing in addressing very specific areas within those modalities, right? So for example, under mental health therapy, I might do anxiety and depression as the areas of concern that I'm going to address. And then my modalities might be DBT or CBT, EMDR, depending on trauma, right? So it could be a number of modalities that I approach those areas of concerns and those specific focuses that I'm going to do. And so really getting to know that about your audience is going to help you to help them. And then lastly, you want to think about, because I'm only going to do 5 tips now, and then I'll do 5 tips next week. Lastly, you want to think about evaluating the trends. We know I talked earlier about the market and how important it is to know what is going on in the market related to your area or your niche that you're going to be a part of. But stay informed about your industry trends. What are they currently trending and emerging areas in terms of therapy, wellness, nutrition, mental health? What are their trends? Are there new techniques? Are there new modalities? Are there actual areas that consumers are demanding to be able to try to address their concerns or problems? So keeping up with these trends help you to really alleviate stress, but also stay relevant, right? Stay relevant and innovative. And so when we think about summarizing this one, we really want to look at industry trends and staying informed and up to date and as current as possible on what is emerging in my industry and how am I staying abreast of those things, as well as incorporating them into my skills and areas of expertise. And then consumers' behavior, like your client's behavior, paying attention to changing trends around what people are willing to put money into related to this industry is going to be extremely important for you as you kind of learn what your niche is. And so today I just talked about these first 5 tips on defining your niche. And so just to give a quick rundown of those 5 tips, the first thing is your self-assessment, which is really identifying your strengths, your passions, your interests, and what are your value positioning of you. Your market research was really identifying the gaps around your industry, analyzing your competitors and your collaborators eventually. And then client needs are really going to be important under your marketing research. And then your target population or ideal client and audience, your demographics, your like what area they are, where are they, and then the specific groups and what their needs are related to who they are and how they show up. And then number 4 was your specialty. What are you specializing in? What is going to be your area and service of focus? What are you going to offer? In other words, what are you going to address and how are you going to address it? So what you're going to offer and then the modality within it. And then last, but definitely not least, for today's 5 tips, evaluating the trends, staying up on the industry trends, what's working, what's not working, what's selling and what's not selling with your particular client that you identified earlier. All right, next week we're going to talk a little bit about geographical focus, personal experience, developing a niche statement, and also testing and redefining as often as possible, and then communicating that niche as we get ready to understand how we not only define our niche, but actually begin to brand. All right. If you haven't already, like and subscribed. I will be going live every Wednesday, 11 o'clock on those that I'm available. And I will be doing a Wednesday Wisdom small business tip. And so this week is how to define your niche, part 1. And next week, I'll finish up this for us. All right, y'all. Take care of yourselves. Be well.